Welcome, everybody. So I thought I would get inspiration from my Shamanic Oracle pack. I had a long drive back last night from up north, and it was really interesting. So I got Owl. I'll show you at home. Can you see that? There you go. Sometimes I like to use them just to sort of guide my teaching. So Owl is, well, I'll read you it because I can't remember it all myself. So Owl is the master of night. She can see situations with perfect clarity, more so when it's dark, and is able to discern truth when others are sightless. She helps you find your light and your lightness in the darkest moments of your life and to embrace the night as your ally. Owl can bring your messages from the invisible world, and she opens your ears so that you may hear the voices of the ancestors and you may acquire their wisdom and make it your own. And it was pulled the right way up. So the invitation is, look around you and notice every detail and find the hidden messages brought to you by Owl. Do not shoot the messenger. Be grateful to your friend who shows you what you have not wanted to see until now. And observe all the facets of the diamond without judgment. And remember that facets you dislike are often the mirrors of parts of you that you do not want to recognize. Do not be afraid of the truth, as it will become your compass. So I thought we would work with observing the habits we don't want to recognize in ourselves. So we all have that aspect to our psyche. So we have this like yin yang symbol. We have this dark aspect of ourselves and we have a lighter aspect of ourselves. And it's actually really important to work on the dark aspects of ourselves and to recognize them because they're the greatest lesson. And if we don't recognize them, as we get older and older and older, they become more and more and more. And we see that in our elderly parents. If they are naturally more lighter and positive, then that stays with them. If they're naturally more on that other side, that becomes more of their personality as they get older. So we can use their life as a guide to what's possible for us, which can be very different. So we're going to lie down first. So we're going to do some balances today, but I want you to, as you lie down, I want you to feel that connection to the earth. Bring the knees up towards you. And with the ankles crossed, just do that little gentle movement, the sacrum, where you're allowing the knees to move away and then bringing them back in. And as you do that tiny little movement, just bring to mind perhaps an aspect that you would like to observe a little bit more clearly in yourself that you don't necessarily like much. So you push it down a bit further. And actually try and bring it up out of that shadow part of yourself. And notice what you can learn from it, or perhaps how you learnt that behavior. And is it time for you to let go of it? Good. Now start to make that movement a bit bigger. And again, notice how that feels in the body. So always coming back into that level of body, because when we hold on to these habits, these emotional traits that we might have, they eventually manifest in our body in illness or tenderness. So just noticing, do you push your body too much? Do you not push it enough? Yeah, bring the knees in, start to circle them. There's sometimes those aspects of ourself that we prefer to remain hidden. You know, we all have those aspects, so it's not like there's any judgment here. We've all got parts of our personality that maybe need to shine a little bit more or be released. And a lot of them come from our parents, actually, unwittingly passed on to us. Change directions. Good. Keep the knees where they are. Let's warm through the back of the hamstrings. So first, I just want you to work the ankles. So keep the knees bent and point the feet forwards and back, forwards and back. Just opening out the channels in the ankle and then circle them and then back again. Good. Now, as you inhale, sweep the arms over and extend the arms up. Exhale, bend again. Take a moment to pause at the top of that inhalation so you get a really good stretch. Draw the toes towards you. Keep the legs extended. Just let the hands rest behind the head. So you've got a little cushion for the head. Push through the heels, and as you inhale, separate the legs as wide as you can. Exhale, bring them back. If it feels too much to do it with the legs straight, do it with the knees bent. But make sure the feet are active, so you're drawing the toes towards your kneecaps. And I want you to think about a recent time where perhaps you were beginning to get a little bit flustered, maybe a bit stressed, maybe you were a bit under pressure, maybe you were quite tired. And then an old familiar habit of reaction starts to kick in again. And for some people, that's a reaction. Some people, it's I'm going to lock myself away and hide under the duvet. Whatever that is for you, it's all good. It's just part of being human. But be aware of it and notice its energy in your body. Sometimes I tend to be a compulsive cleaner when I'm a bit stressed. So I'll start scrubbing or digging the garden vigorously, which is sometimes a very useful way to release stress. But also when you're tired, it can be a way where you deplete yourself fully, because what you really need to do is just stop and sleep. So just be aware of this part of your personality that maybe needs a little bit of encouragement to change. Lovely. Now keep the legs where they are. Now bring the hands underneath the bottom, so you're tilting the sacrum up slightly, so the lower back goes to the floor, Be very careful with back problems, especially in the sacrum. You might need to bend the knees to do the movements. We're going to lower one leg, bring it back up, lower the other, and then build up that speed so you end up with a scissor movement. If it feels too much, then do a bicycle movement instead, where you're pushing the legs away and you're bringing the knees back in. Lovely. And release. Bring the knees in. So we're going to work with some balances today. So let's sort out our leg muscles. So take your belts, bring them to the ball of the right foot. So I do this movement a lot in my classes because it's simply such a great movement, and it's a movement that can be done every day. Really helps the hips and the leg muscles. So let's work with the extended exhale. Breathe in for 4. Breathe out for 6 or more. And again, go back to that recent time where you can still feel that energy in your body of a pattern that's not necessarily a particular helpful pattern. It might be one of those patterns where your loved ones say, "Do you realize you do that every time this happens?" And then you get more irritated by it because you know it's true. So, nice deep breath in. And then imagine the exhalation is just allowing you to break the cycle as if the pattern's like a circle, and you're just going to take a pair of scissors, you're going to cut the energy, and as you exhale, you're going to push it out of your system. And think about a way that you could replace that habit. When you become aware of it in your everyday life and you feel its energy in your body, what would you do to replace it? Okay, now holding the belt as high up as you can. So there's a little bit of tension. So you're doing it with determination. We're going to take the leg out to the right. Continue to be aware of that pattern. Breathe it out. Imagine it being released. Check that the jaw is relaxed. So often we'll be determined to release this pattern, but actually we're clamping our jaw shut so that there's no way that it can be released because you're holding on to the tail end of it almost at the jawline, the story of it. So relax the jaw, take a deep breath in. See if you can go a little bit deeper, bringing the leg maybe a bit further out, a bit further up towards the shoulder line. Lovely. Bring the leg back to center. Let's bring the belt into the left hand. Straighten the left leg out and bring the leg across the body. So remember, you can start with the knee bent. Aim to get the toes as high up towards the shoulder line as you can, whether that's with the knee bent or the leg straight or somewhere in between. Turn the gaze to the right, relax the jaw. And as you exhale, feel that deep squeeze into the belly and into the visceral organs where a lot of these habits are held, where they're rooted in something that happened a long time ago that created this looping reaction, which made you feel safe when you were younger. But as you've got older, it's just one of those things that isn't really very helpful anymore. It's not helpful to you. It's not helpful to the relationships that you're in. So breathing it out, feeling that wisdom of the owl, where it sees the darkness, it sees into it. That part of your personality that needs some help. Maybe it's an aspect of you that keeps you isolated because it's rooted in fear. Lovely. Bring the leg back to center. Either use your belt or your hand. You're going to reach up. If you're using your hand, bring the hand on the inside or the outside, whatever feels best for your body anatomy. And we're going to bring the knee down towards the rib cage as if you're trying to pop it into your underarm to warm it up. Nice deep breath in. Exhale with a big sigh. Visualize this pattern releasing. And also visualize that time when it happened last. And feel the energy and sigh it out of your system, and use the same protocol when it happens when you're not on the yoga mat. So when you feel yourself moving into that habit again, stop what you're doing, take a deep breath in, let it go and go, what would be a better solution? Again, I want you to rebend the left leg, and we're going to pop the right ankle on the left leg. So we're going to prepare our hips for a balance. So either just keeping the leg here if it's enough, so notice what's happening in the hip and the knee, or bring the hands overhead on the inhale. And as you exhale, come into a sit-up position, bring the hands over, but just let the hands come over. So you're using the thigh strength and the tummy strength to squeeze that right thigh closer in towards you. And then inhale, open out again. Exhale, squeeze. Good. Now, next time you inhale, take the next exhale to push up into bridge position. Hold, really push the right knee away from you. Lovely. And release. Bring the right knee in, give it a squeeze. And release. Place the sole of the foot to the floor. Well done. Let's go to the side. So again, noticing how the leg feels. So when we work like this, we're working through what's called the levels of perception. So when we notice how the body feels, we're in this lower level, which is the root chakra. And then when we start to notice how we feel emotionally within the body, we're moving up into the second chakra. And just observing the aspect of yourself that you keep hidden in the darkness, and welcome it to come out. Give it an opportunity to heal. Good. Let the right knee roll away. Take the left leg out to the side nice and slowly. Notice the difference in the sides. Remember, we're all asymmetrical. There may be more tension here, or there may be more fluidity. Just observing it, observing from an emotional point of view as well. What's going on? And sometimes whilst we observe this aspect, we start to get memories of when we were really young. Remembering things that maybe made us retract our body, hide away, or maybe lash out. And then those patterns get set in motion if they're not healed at the time. And often they're not. Because, of course, we don't have a prefrontal cortex fully formed until we're about 25 or 26, and that's our emotional center in the brain. Sometimes it's known as the secretary, the PA. So it's the part of our brain that organizes all the other information that comes in and can sometimes feel overwhelming. Of course, when we're little, the overwhelm can't be organized. It just gets pushed into our body, into our emotions, into our habits. Lovely. Bring the leg back to center, belt into the right hand, straighten out the right leg, come across, knee bent, leg straight, somewhere in between, your choice. Nice long exhalation. Again, check the jaws relax. So when we continue to tell these stories that have created these patterns, sometimes we'll notice that there's tension in our neck, in our jaw, even in our tongue. So relax the tongue as well. Relax the jaw. Give it permission to leave. Good, come back to center. Belt or hand, bring the heel down. Let the knee come towards the outer edge of the left rib cage. Nice deep breath in. Good, let's rebend the right leg, bring the left leg ankle to the thigh, push the knee away. Again, notice how it feels, so it'll be different this side to the other. If you want to go deeper, inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, squeeze, lift up. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Next, exhale, push up into bridge and push the knee away as far as you can. Lovely. And release. Bring the knee in. And then the other knee in. Circle both knees again. I'm going to add in a little bit of work for the tummy muscles. So release your hands, keep circling. If you know you've got issues in the lower back, pop the hands under the bottom just to add a bit of extra protection. And then if it feels comfortable for you, draw a bigger circle. So you're pushing the legs away, bringing them in. Change directions. Good. Keep the knees in nice and close, cross the ankles, arms out to the side, stabilize the shoulder blades, feel them nice and firmly nestled into the earth. And as you exhale, drop the knees over and up towards the right arm. Don't let the knees touch the floor. Inhale back to center. So have the hands out so that the shoulder blades can anchor to the floor. So use the arms to really stabilize the upper back. Keep bringing the knees as high up as you can. If it feels comfortable, uncross the ankles. And then maybe extend the top leg so you're pushing it out towards the hand as you come over. Maybe both legs, so this depends on the back. Make sure you bring them back in as you move to center, so you're not taking the weight of the leg into the back. Lovely, well done. Back to center. Let's rock from side to side. And then if it feels fine for your back, ankles crossed, hold behind the knees, roll along the spine. Lovely, and come up. Let's come all the way around. Have your bricks handy, just in case. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, let's come into down dog. Heel out the feet. Check the head, relaxed. Good. Let's step the right leg through. Drop the knees if you need to step the leg through. Take the bricks. Keep the back heel off the floor. I want you to come into a deep lunge. So you might find that to do that, you move the bricks further back so that they're directly underneath the shoulders. Be brave. Take it a bit further back. Inhaling, exhaling. So straighten the front leg and then lower. And as you lower, notice that the body resists. And what happens is the knee bends slightly because the thigh's a bit tight. So try and resist that movement and push the back heel away. Good. Now get that leg back in a bit more. Take your time. Straighten both legs. Both feet are straight forwards now. Bring your attention to the right sit bone. I want you to push the right sit bone back. So there's a sense of balance coming into the pelvis. Press down through the ball of the front big toe and the base of the baby toe and lift the other toes so you get this lovely little arch, padabandha, lifting. Let the left arm just drop down. Keep the right hand on the brick. We're just going to create some length. So as you sweep the hand forwards, I want you to push the right sit bone back. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Bring the hand back to the brick on the left side. Pop it close to the right foot. And then bring the right hand into the sacrum. Keep the right foot really active. So you've still got the toes lifting. And I want you to turn to the right. A purposeful turn. Feel it through the leg, along the outer hip. And then if it feels comfortable, extend the right arm up, palm facing out, thumb and index finger in chin mudra. Good. Now, as we hold this rotation, again, bring your attention back to the aspect of yourself that you're working with today. Relax the jaw, notice the patterns, give it permission to release as you exhale. Good. Now bring the right hand back into the sacrum. We're moving into a balance. So if you think that was enough for me, you stay in this movement. Bring the left brick further forwards. Test it. So lean into the front leg so the back leg's straight. Does the hand need to be further away? Does it need to be further forwards, further out to the side? Because we're going to take the back leg off the floor. Back leg off the floor. Push through the heel. And either just keep the gaze down so you're not in rotation, or from here, rotate the torso. Bring the right arm back up. Feel the effort on the outer right hip. So if it feels too much, soften it. If you need to rest, drop back into swan, rest on the floor. Feel that sense of determination that builds when you hold something that's a little bit more tricky. It requires a bit more from the body. Good, let's step back. Down dog. Really heel out the feet. Good, let's come forward into plank. Drop the knees if you need to. Drop the forearms if you need to. And just hold. Feel that determination, that fire that you want to bring into transformation. The effort required, not just of the body, but our mind to be determined to see the habits and to want to create change. Good, lower all the way down if you haven't already. Hands under the shoulders, inhale into cobra. Exhale to lower. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Push it back. Take a few breaths here. Scan the body, so observing on that level of body. And then scan on the level of emotions higher up from the second chakra. Images, memories. Good, come back up into down dog. Good, let's step the left leg through, drop the knees if you need to. Bricks into that deep lunge. Concentrate on the right thigh, the top of the right thigh. Back heel off the floor. Push out through the heel. Inhale. Straighten as best as you can. Exhale. So remember, you don't have to fully straight. If that's not available for your body, then that's okay. So I find these type of movements a little bit easier because I've got short legs and a long torso. So it's easier for me. It's called a short arse. Notice the resistance at the front of the thigh. Can you hold it a little bit and stretch into it? Is it, no, I don't want to stretch. So I've been in a long car journey in the past few days. So the front of my thighs get a bit tight when you're driving. Stretch it out. Good, now hop that leg in so you can get to the point where your legs are as straight as possible, so they can be quite close together. That's absolutely fine. And again, let's just keep the hand on the left brick. I'm going to push the left sit bone back. So you feel as you push the sit bone back, you get this additional stretch through the hamstring and the IT band on the left side. Drop the right arm, just let it swing. And as you inhale, bring it forwards. Nice big stretch into the sit bone. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Notice if this side's a bit tighter. Is there more resistance? So I'm left-handed. So I moved from my left, not just physically, but emotionally. So actually it's tighter because it gets used a lot more. Good. Now bring the right hand to the brick. Have the brick quite close into the left foot and bring the left hand to the sacrum. And you might find you want to bring the brick further forwards, further back, wherever gives you the balance, and then start to turn. Keep the breath nice and steady. Maybe extend the left arm, bring it into Chin Mudra. Observe the breath. Be aware of the inner dialogue that you're working on. Lovely, releasing. I'm going to go a little bit further. So you're going to bring the brick further forwards. And again, bend the front knee and just test that reach, because as you bring the back foot off the floor, if you're going to do that, so you don't have to, you can rest if you need to. Bring the back foot off the floor, push through the heel, and either just stay neutral. You could use both bricks if you wanted to. It's still strong on the leg, or bring it into a rotation, so you're turning to the left. Good. Now this time I want you to step forwards from this position. Take the feet nice and wide. And as you exhale, come into a squat. Remember, your squat can be a dip. Dipping is fine. And then your choice. Really your choice. You decide. Side to side. Work the hip flexors. So make sure your feet are quite wide. So they need to be wider than the hips if you want to do that movement. Good. Come back into Uttanasana now. Hold the forward fold, let the head relax. Slowly roll up. Lovely. So I'm going to come into our balances now. I'm just inviting you to balance, okay? There's no have to. So we're going to work balancing on our right foot first. So spread the toes nice and wide and let the toes relax so you're not gripping with the foot. And then have the knee slightly bent, not fully bent yet. So you just take the pressure out of the back of the knee and lift up the left leg. Stage one. Make sure the ball of the big toe is anchored into the floor. Good. Now, if you want to go further, bend the knee a bit more and bring the ankle to the thigh. So we've already done this movement, but it was easier because we were lying on the floor. Hands to the heart space. Good. Now, hands into Chin Mudra. Bring the arms out like wings. And I want you to imagine that you are an owl in flight. So owls have amazing sight like eagles do. Something like 6 times better than ours. And they can see tiny, tiny insects and mice on the floor from high above. But they can also see the much bigger picture. And that's what we're really after in life. Can you see the little thing that's happening, but the big picture that's surrounding it? And this is the same for our reactions and our habits. Good. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Take the feet wider. Exhale with a inhale all the way up. Last one. Good, let's go the other way. Left leg. So actually make sure your foot is actually under your hip, because sometimes it's not. Makes it difficult to balance. If you've got it out there, it's very difficult because you're going to have to move across. So it's nice, spread toes. Feel the ball of the foot, the base of the toes, bend the knee. Start with stage 1. And if this is enough for you today, this is fine. Just stay with the balance. If you want to go deeper, ankle to thigh, hands to chin mudra, sweep them out. And again, observing. What do you see within yourself? What's the tiny thing that you're looking at, that tiny little habit? And what's the bigger picture around it? So seeing from a much bigger perspective of just the reaction. A few more breaths. Doing really well. And well done. Inhale, release. Ready to release with a big sigh. Let it go. Inhale. Take it all the way up. All the way out. Breathe it in. Let it go. Lovely. Down to the floor. Pop on layers if you need to. It's a wee bit chilly in here today. So let the eyes close when you're ready. Make sure you feel really comfortable so you can, if you're at home and you prefer to use a chair, then use a chair. And then just take a few simple circles. And from the perspective of body, notice how the sacrum feels, the sit bones feel, the hips, lower back, rest of the body. Just notice. Be the observer. What's changed? Has anything shifted? Have you become more aware of your habit and how it manifests in the physical body? That lovely little rich, fertile darkness inside of you that needs to be seen, needs to be heard, needs to be healed. Lovely, change directions. And then back to center. So when we work on that lowest chakra and we feel the structure of the body, we're just observing the effect of our life upon it. So now we're going to move up into the second chakra, which is much more emotions and observing how we react. So as you inhale, come forwards. And as you exhale, very slowly go back. So we're not going to do the Kundalini breath. We're just going slowly. Imagine this water that's in the bowl of the pelvis is gently moving like a wave forwards and back with the movement. And as it moves, it's showing you aspects of yourself emotionally that need clearing. And in that clearing process, they need to be supported and recognized that they are just part of your journey in life. So there isn't any judgment. There's just, oh, okay, yeah. Use the breath to feel it gently releasing. And then come to upright. Simply bring your awareness to the breath at the tip of the nose. Breathe in for a count of 4. Hold the breath in for 4. Breathe out for 4. Hold the breath out for 4. Keep going. If it feels comfortable for you, use a 6. So 6 in, hold for 6, out for 6, hold out for 6. And in those pauses, really feel the beat of the heart. Notice this awareness, this presence that's observing the physical body, the emotions, the thoughts. Not just release the count, but just stay in that presence where you're observing. That you're aware that this observer has a body because you're aware of the body, but you're not just the body. You're the awareness that is aware of the body. And mentally say to yourself, I am the awareness that is aware of the body. And notice that this awareness is aware of the thoughts. I have thoughts, but I'm not just my thoughts. I am the awareness that is aware of the thoughts. I am awareness. I have emotions. I'm not just the emotions. I am the awareness that is aware of the emotions. I am the ever-present awareness that is aware of this human life, this experience, physical, emotional, mental experience of the human life. I am awareness. And notice that center within you that is very still. So even when our life is busy and we're going around our daily things that we need to do, the work that we need to do, our jobs, our responsibilities, there is this stillness within us. Just allow yourself to rest in the awareness, which is the stillness. And feel yourself totally centered, where those reactive patterns no longer exist, because you recognize them as simply different cycles of energy that get stuck in the physical, emotional, mental body, of which you can observe, and you can actively change it. Bring the hands to the heart space. Inhale, sit the arms all the way up, down through the midline. And as the hands reach that space of awareness, just bow your head to the heart and take a moment to honor that beautiful aspect of yourself, which is divine. And namaste.